Shalom, shalom. First off, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash. And shalom to my elders of GMS who taught me this truth. Shalom to them. And shalom to you brothers that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, preaching his gospel, preaching his word, risking your lives to do so. Shalom to you brothers. Yeah, man, I just wanted to talk about this whole thing with Canada fires, and the air is like really it's blocking out the sun, and it's just very smoky out there, and it smells like burning wood. That's what it smells like. I know some brothers are in different areas, whatever. So they're probably not experiencing this in different states, but over here on the East Coast, like New Jersey, the tri-state area, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, with I guess some of Washington D.C., Norfolk, Virginia. I think Michigan and like Minnesota, they also experiencing this too. But it's really bad over here, and it just got me thinking, like, what is Esau, constantly, he's always up to no good, you know. And I'm gonna just read a little bit of this article, and then get a couple of scriptures, and that'd be it for the lesson. But it says the wildfire smoke will worsen in the northeast and mid-Atlantic through Friday. It says more than 150 million people could be exposed to unhealthy air quality. See the for yeah. Okay, so it says dangerous wildfire smoke is filling the skies from the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic, and in some areas conditions are expected to worsen. Through Friday, more than 115 million people are forecast to be exposed to air quality levels that are unhealthy or worse as winds funnel smoke south from out of control fires in Canada and Minnesota, and a heat dome traps that smoke near the ground. From late Wednesday into early Thursday, Chicago, Detroit, Minneapolis, and New York had some of the worst air quality of the world's major cities, according to data from IQ Air in Detroit. The air quality index reached a value of 728 late Wednesday, far worse than a peak of 465 in New York during the apocalyptic June 2023 fires. Right, and okay, it says the smoke drifted into Philadelphia and Wilmington, Delaware during the early hours of Thursday morning and was tracking southward along a path that roughly followed Interstate 95. Right, okay. It says, however, shifting winds close to Baltimore and D.C. may keep the worst of the smoke out for most of the day, Thursday, but not Thursday night. That's when unhealthy air quality levels are forecast to abruptly develop as the smoke plume accelerates south, engulfing much of Virginia and parts of North Carolina, conditions that are forecast to last through Friday night. Okay, so yeah, it's just air quality fucking sucks. It's hard to breathe. It's like I said, it just smells like burning wood. And then it just got me thinking, like, through the spirit that Esau, he with these whole 5-minute cities, and and how he wants to burn down the forest and the trees and everything so they can do these 5-minute cities and build this 5G, I say like 6G, whatever technology they have, to basically get ready for this new world order. You know what I mean? So a lot of these remote areas, and in the woods, and people that's living in in these wooded areas and things like that, they just Esau just gonna use whatever heart machine, I mean that machine, whatever, the HAARP machine, to to further his agenda. And he's trying to establish, like I said, establish his new world order, and get everything set up, for his, for this, that this new world order he's trying to start. So now it looks very just like orange out there, just very dark brownish. You know what I mean? And and he'll go by any ways of doing it. He don't give a fuck if this shit kills anybody, or or gives anybody any health problems or whatever. Breathing this smoke in and shit. This devil doesn't care. He just wants his goal accomplished, and that's it. So if people got to suffer, people have to be deleted from this. Oh well, That's how he sees it, you know. And yeah, you know, I'm gonna get a scripture and we close out. This is Psalms 36 and 4. Look at Salat. Psalms 36 and 4. All right. Psalms 36 and 4. He divisive mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Right. He's always thinking of evil. He's always thinking of what he can do to, you know, like I said, to establish himself and you know, and try to create get order out of chaos. You know, that's what he does. You know, fall. You know, you know the two F's. I'm trying to watch what I say. You know, these flag events and certain agendas and certain atrocities and tragedies that they set up and try to get results from that, trying to get, you know, get some type of order and try to get, you know, people to fall in line to whatever they put out there, you know, whatever solution they put out there, and there's usually some type of order to get people in line, you know, and it's not for the good. It's never for the good. That's just an illusion, you know, but it'd be something sinister behind that that they wanted to accomplish, you know, and let me see if there's more on that. I'm gonna read a little bit more. Verse 5: That thy mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth unto the clouds. Verse 6: Thy righteousness is like the great mountains; thy judgments are a great deep. O Lord, thou preservest man and beast. Right. You know. The Lord made everything to be good. You know, to be righteous. You know, we all know that. You know, the earth was given into the wicked, so it can't be righteous right now. You know what I mean? Because everything's just under this evil vibration of this devil. You know what I mean? You know, the earth is mourning. You know, animals are mourning. You know, it's this earth is not. It's just constantly going through something. Now I'm looking. I'm watching. You know, I'm doing the video and my TV's on. I'm watching news and then I'm seeing deadly wave water forces evacuations in Texas. You know what I mean? It's always some shit, man. You know what I mean? With the weather and the, you know, the climate change and, you know, this devil's always doing something and it's just fucking up the earth, you know? And the people that gotta live in it, you know? This devil is just always up to something, man. He's always up to something. Like, them fires, come on. I know that shit ain't natural. I just know it ain't natural. I know it ain't natural. You know, they got technology and everything that can cause these fires, lasers and shit, you know, to cause these fires and you know, and burn down the trees, you know. And you think that land is not going to get occupied and set up for something? You know, yes, it is. That land just ain't going to be deserted. They're pushing people out of their homes, you know. And this is what he does. This is what the devil does, you know. Let me see if I can get another scripture and I'll close out. Keep me from the evil man, page 80. Okay, Psalms 140 and it's about 144. Psalms 140 and 4. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have proposed to overthrow my goings. That's right, you know. And that's for the elect, you know what I mean? Starting with the elect. You know, we don't worry about none of this shit that's happening right now. We all know that the devil is just doing him. You know what I mean? Esau Edom, you know? And he's doing what the Lord, you know, put his, you know, using, you know, put in his spirit to do. To push out evil and just do shit that's harming the earth and harming people. You know, the Lord is signing off on this, you know. So we're not, to worry, Lord, I hope, we always ask for, for that protection and that hedge over us, you know what I mean, and to guide us, and the Lord is doing that, you know what I mean. You know, we just bringing out what this devil does and the evils and, that he does and shit, and people don't see it. That's the sad thing about it. You know, these common people, the Joe Schmoes, whatever, you know what I mean? These people of the world, they don't see it. They don't see, the imbalance, how this earth is moving, like how everything is just going about. They don't see it because they don't have the spirit to see it, you know? And shit is just getting worse. It's just getting worse, you know? So now, devil just, constantly tampering with something, messing up something, and it just, now, people getting sick and, all kind of shit, even with the chemtrails and just, the shit they put in the air and our food, being contaminated, GMO food and, and they spray pesticide on the fruits and vegetables and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's just so much shit with this devil, This is why, we always got to stay prayed up and, ask the Lord to protect us and keep that hedge over us of protection, Because this devil is just coming full throttle, He's coming full throttle, But with that, Lord willing, I hope this was edifying. This is the brother from Men of Valor Camp and Mayala. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. Until next time, Shalom.